o'clock Sunday morning. It's 80 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
I want to start this Friday off talking about trash talking.
Okay.
Were you a big trash talker, Tom, when you played football?
No, I wasn't. I usually said the same things. It was a mother and then the other word and then another word. And that's all I really had. I was busy getting the plays. So I didn't have time to trash talk. But I like trash talk as long as you back it up. If you back it up, you can trash talk all you want. All
right. Taylor, you played basketball. Were you a trash talker?
I was not. I don't like being wrong, and I feel like if you trash talk and you make a bad play or something doesn't work out, it's highlighted more. So I was more of a silent assassin. I was like, I would consider myself. Even in life, now when we whatever, we'll go out and play darts or we'll do whatever, and everyone's like, oh, are you good? No, I'm fine, whatever. Yeah, and then if I end up beating them, they're like, you hustled us. I was like, I wasn't. I'm not going to brag about some of my talents that I have.
You don't want to set yourself up for failure either, which I can understand.
I love it.
I have so many talents.
Take you to the pool room. Let's go. Win some money with Taylor Dahl on the pool table.
Speaking of basketball, RJ Saunders, you play all the time. Are you a trash talker?
Yeah, but I keep it in the confines of hoop, though. I don't go too far. If you're I'll do this. If you're shorter than me and you're honestly trying to guard me, I have two things. Either A, mouse in the house, or B, I eat burritos bigger than you, dog. That's kind of my only thing. Yeah, but mouse in the house, we'll call all this.
That'll hurt someone.
This comes up for two reasons. One, Leon Searcy and RJ Saunders were in the hallway the other day, either yesterday or the day before, and Leon was like, show me what you got. And Matt was like, show me what you got. And RJ was like, I do this and then that. And then I was like, all right, I feel like we need to talk about trash talking on the show. And then, of course, Jaguars mic'd up LeQuint Allen Jr. when it came to the Raiders game. Yep. And I also, like you, Taylor, I was not much of a trash talker. But if someone trash talked me, then I would come back and forth with them a little bit. But also, girls' high school soccer is nothing like the National Football League. We know Max Crosby's a trash talker, but LeQuint Allen Jr. held his own, and it sounded like this.
Hey, step when you see me, baby. Step when you see me. Hey. Yeah. What you doing? I was laughing at him. He called me a peon. I called him a... Hey, I don't know who you are. Hey, I smoke you, boy. Yeah. Obviously, you don't know me. You won't know me today. You know me now, right? Hell yeah. You already, I got you. Hell yeah. You already. Now for sure. Now for sure. Yeah, I said it back. Hell yeah. That's how you supposed to play the game. You feel me? Hey, what do you say? He say, he say,
Thanks to the Jaguars social channels for putting out that video in case you couldn't quite hear it because the background music is loud. But he says, LeQuint says, Max called me a peon, so I called him a P word. and then he's like, Max goes, I don't even know who you are. And LeQuint's like, I don't know who you are. But I love that back and forth fun. In a football game.
That's if you were to ask me who on the Jags I thought was a trash talker, I would have said LeQuint Allen. We saw during camp several moments where you're this guy, and he'll try and back it up too. He'll swing sometimes, which we've seen that also. But yeah, I think it's fun. Max Crosby is a massive human being, and LeQuint's not that small. He's 6 foot, but by Max looked kind of small, and I was like, he's not even that tiny. But that shows how big he is. But I love that too. I mean, I think it adds. If you are one of those trash talkers, do it. Yeah. And LeQuint doesn't care.
It makes me think that he knows how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because guys that know how to fight don't care about size. They're like, whatever, can you take a punch?
Right. Yeah.
We're not going to know until we try.
Yeah, that's New Jersey for you.
He was, look, he's a tough kid. You saw him. He was squaring up with dudes during camp. It wasn't pushing and shoving. He immediately got into a boxer fighter stance, and he was throwing combinations and stuff. So and listen, he backs it up. He's been chip blocking like crazy. He picks up the blitz. He's one of the better guys to do it. At least, on this team, he's shown that he can run the football if given the opportunity. I think he's good in the open field. He's just an all-around tough guy, kind of guy you want on your football team, and a great find in the 7th round out of Syracuse, no doubt about it. But you could tell early on in camp he was going to take no grief from anybody. He didn't care who you were, and he feels like he can back it up, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, Liam Coen met with me earlier, and he was asked about that. So he talked about when Ventrell Miller and LeQuint in training camp kind of met, and we're going back and forth a little bit, and he was like, oh, okay. And obviously, you're not going to know that kind of stuff about a player's personality in interviews, right? Like, you have to see them on the grass, as they like to say. And, he's a guy that this team needs that feistiness, that fieriness. Like, Jarian Jones, I think, brings that too.
Yeah.
But Jarian, until last week, hadn't been playing, right? Like, he'd been playing special teams really only. It's hard to bring that to a defense or bring that to a team overall if you're not necessarily on the field that much.
And I think Jordan has it. I haven't seen it as much as I thought we would, because
you see it on Twitter more than anything else.
But previous to that, he was a very vocal player, and you saw clips when he was signed here of, him kind of running his mouth and going after people. I feel like I haven't seen it as much, but I do think maybe it's because the defense is not playing very well and they don't want to run their mouth too much. But I do think you have some of the guys that can and will also back it up, and you do want those type of players on your team.
I love swagger. I love it. That's why I really liked the Hurricanes when I was younger. When they go against Notre Dame, I like the swagger guys. I just like that attitude. And if you back it up, it's good, and it's really good to have on your football team, especially your defense. When they got a little swag in them. As far as taking the field, we're going to dominate. We're going to out-hit you. We're going to do all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta be able to back that up. I'll give you a guy. I think Robert Hainsey. He doesn't talk, but he's feisty. When he's in there, you see a different O-line as far as physicality. And I think he brings that to the table. And we need more of that, like LeQuint, like Robert, like these other guys, man, to really just keep playing that physical brand of football. Because when you do that, you give yourself a better chance to win. I mean, it's just proven over time. You may not always win, but you're going to give yourself a better chance to win if you can match or be better than their physicality.
Right, and that's where also in the video LeQuint constantly says before the game against the Raiders, violence, violence, and it's like that's game. Right. That's what this is all about.
No doubt.
I'm hoping that, and I don't know about the trash talking side, but I'm hoping that Jacoby Myers brings that to the offense.
The physical side, I think he does.
Absolutely, like that. I don't care if I get knocked around or I'm going to hit a safety. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to get yards after the catch, and this offense is going to move the chains. And I've seen what y'all did on film before, but I'm going to step in and I'm going to help the offense. I know it's early and he may not know the full offense, but certainly he, I think, is going to be a contributing factor on Sunday.
Yeah, well, he should be, considering what the room looks like at this point. The wide receiver,
on Sunday.
But I think he has the physical nature side of that wide receiver. We talked about the going in the middle, not being afraid to take a hit, and he's known as that. Like, when everybody I heard that we had on in this last week after the trade, or I guess not this last week, the last couple days, every single Raiders person, that's one of the things they said about him, is that's the type of receiver he is. And there's certain ones in the league that you would point to being that type, and there's other ones you would consider more of finesse type wide receivers, and he's one of the more aggressive physical wide receivers.
Yeah, listen, being afraid to go over the middle, I mean, you could make a case for BT on those where he short-armed it. But the drops, I don't think, like the Ami drop went over the middle. I don't think it was because he was afraid. It went through his hands. I mean, he was looking at it.
Can't catch it.
He was trying to catch it.
Yeah.
He just didn't catch it. I don't think Parker, I never felt like Parker. That one, he laughed afterwards because the guy hit him, but he didn't get to the ball. He's kind of laughing like, you were going to get me kind of deal. But listen, at the end of the day, he's just got to catch the football like the rest of them, and we got to get into some kind of rhythm. It'll be interesting to see how much they go to him. Dempsey was talking about him starting more on the outside. It's easier to learn. I think one of the keys will be Diami. I know he's been practicing, but is he ready?
Which is great news.
For sure. Because no disrespect to the other guys, but you need Diami Brown out there to kind of help balance with the new guy, and then Parker, of course. So, look, at the end of the day, though, it's still the three-letter monster in ETN. Getting him the rock, I think, is going to be critical on Sunday for sure. Running the ball and in the passing game.
Yeah, Diami Brown was a full participant in practice yesterday after being limited on Wednesday. The fact that he's practicing at all is great news. Since we thought maybe he'd be out because of the concussion, but it sounds like he will be able to play this Sunday. The one thing that made me a little nervous on yesterday's injury report, Wyatt Milam, the offensive lineman, the rookie, He was not on the injury report at all on Wednesday, and then he appeared yesterday as a limited participant with a knee injury. Now, that's exactly what happened in the Travis Hunter scenario. However, Travis Hunter hadn't been dealing with a knee injury, to my knowledge, prior. Right. That's what Wyatt Milam has been dealing with since training camp. So it doesn't surprise me. It just made me a little nervous the way that things went. But obviously, we'll get the full injury report coming up this afternoon. And then, if you look at both injury reports, there's a lot of guys on there. More for the Texans did not participate yesterday. But as we already know, C.J. Stroud will not play in this game. And speaking of the Texans, we will chat with Seth Payne on the other side.
That's right.
And certainly preview this game that comes up in Houston on Sunday. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Football Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. A super defense is like a superior fence. They both protect what you value.
Pass rush, linebacker secondary.
After the game, Superior Fence and Rail highlights the defensive player of the game on 1010XL.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Chick-fil-A has something brand new on the menu, and it's only here for a limited time. Introducing the Pretzel Cheddar Club. This sandwich comes on a warm, buttery pretzel bun, a slice of cheddar cheese topped with 3 strips of Applewood smoked bacon, fresh lettuce, and tomato. And the kicker, a creamy Dijon mustard sauce on the side that takes this sandwich to the next level. Try it grilled, spicy, or original Chick-fil-A chicken. Don't wait. It's only here for a short time. Stop by your Jacksonville Chick-fil-A locations and try the Pretzel Cheddar Club today.
Helmets and Heels.
Crown Royal Friday.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you more Gator Chomps during the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
At Duck Duck Rooter, we do it all. Plumbing, septic, and air conditioning with expert technicians in each department. Need help? Call 904-862-6769 today and let Duck Duck Rooter handle it all. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Their sound-shaped music for generations to come. Toto, live. One special night with hit after hit. March 2nd at St. Augustine Amphitheater. On sale now at AXS.com. Don't miss an evening with Toto, live.
You like winning? This is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
All right, let's welcome in Seth Payne, former Jaguar defensive tackle, great former Houston Texan, and he's a big part of the sports radio out there on Sports Radio 610 in Houston. He rejoins us once again on Helmets and Heels with Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and myself. Seth Rowe, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for the time.
Good. Oh, I'm happy to be back. Thanks. Thanks. I did all right at the audition the last time you had me on.
Last time after we had you on, you mentioned something about my questionable associates on Twitter there, Seth. I don't know what you mean by that.
I wasn't saying anything worse than yeah. Now, what I said about you last time was that you were like a throwback old school linebacker. You're the last of a dying breed. Like a blue collar guy that was really enjoyed the physical element of the game, and you soaked every bit of the juice out of being in the NFL. Like you lived life the right way. You worked your butt off, but you also had a good time.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Well, D'Amico Ryans is kind of a throwback. He loves that physicality. This defense Houston brings to the table seems to be physical, really good against the pass, getting after the QB, maybe giving up a little bit against the run. But how do you look at this Houston defense, Seth, as we enter into the Jags game this Sunday?
The defense is it's just really good. I think they've always been a defense that flies around. But the thing that's really come together this year is that they don't have a boatload of sacks, kind of like the Jaguars, where they don't have a boatload of sacks, but they're getting pressure on the passer. Like Josh Hines-Allen, I don't care how many sacks he has. That's who I'm scared of this week from a Texans perspective. But the defense, they rush the passer really well, but then they've got really good defensive backs that are playing a good chunk of zone, so a lot of teams that play a lot of zone, they don't necessarily have great cornerbacks, but the Texans have cornerbacks that play really well, and they're complemented by that pass rush. So the sum total of it is all that when quarterbacks do get the ball off, a lot of times they're hurried and they're throwing bad throws, and then those defensive backs are able to pounce on them. And it's, I'm always kind of cautious early in the season when a team is the number one scoring defense or number one in yardage. The Texans are both those things, and there's a lot of substance behind it. They're just a well-rounded defense.
Seth, what about the rushing defense, the run defense? Because that has felt like it's been the Jaguars' strength offensively is being able to run the ball. That is a large reason they were able to beat the Raiders in Las Vegas. So what about that side of the defense?
I think that, D'Amico this week, and he said the same thing the previous week versus the Broncos, is he's not trying to hide anything. He said flat out, it starts with ETN. We got to stop ETN. And so far this season, when the Texans have faced a team where they identify the running back or the running game as the primary threat, they've done a pretty good job of limiting the running game. The one game where they didn't do a good job versus the run was versus the Bucs. But the Bucs, very much they were more concerned about Baker Mayfield, I think, than the rushing attack, and the Texans didn't hold up well. So they're going to be focused in on ETN, and there might be some weaknesses in the Texans secondary this week because Jalen Petrie, as of now, is still out with a concussion, or he might be working his way back through anyway. But Petrie's in the concussion protocol, and that's where a focus on ETN might create some opportunities for Trevor Lawrence.
Seth, D'Amico Ryans loves physicality on quarterbacks unless it's on his own. So since Davis Mills has to play instead of C.J. Stroud, the game plan against the Jaguars that seems to work is get the ball out quickly. Will Davis Mills be able to do that?
Yeah, I think almost to his detriment last week. He got the ball out really quickly, but it was almost – there were a few times where he was forcing the ball into some hairy situations. So he helped out the offensive line, and the offensive line needs a lot of help by getting the ball out quickly. But it's last week we saw the same Davis Mills that led the Texans to draft C.J. Stroud. He's just kind of erratic. The easy throws, sometimes he's just throwing it 3 feet over a crossing route's head, misfiring on just little dump-offs to the running back. But then he'll turn around and he'll make some really nice touch throws. It's just erratic. And this is where the matchup for the Texans really gets tough this week is that, A, you've got Davis Mills, who's certainly not a C.J. Stroud, and B, they want to run the ball, but the right guard and the right tackle were both out of practice today, and those are the strength of the offensive line. The right side of the Texans' offensive line has been okay. It's the center, the left guard, and the left tackle that have been really a weakness. And I'm not exactly sure even if the right guard and right tackle can't go. I don't even know exactly which bodies will be out there, but I'd be real surprised if they're able to run against that Jaguars run defense. So this is it's not shaping up well for the Texans. I don't unless Davis Mills every now and then will pull a rabbit out of a hat and have a really impressive performance. His ability to perhaps attack the Jaguars secondary that's been kind of disheveled and rejiggered around. I don't know if he's going to have that opportunity to attack that on Sunday.
Seth Payne here with us on Helmets and Heels. Seth, our Jags defense has had trouble with the tight end, Dalton Schultz. I know he's hadn't had a big year yet, but he's one of those guys that, man, really athletic, can get down the field. And I know this as well as you, like quarterback's favorite target is down the middle to that tight end. That gets them comfortable. What do you think Dalton Schultz can do against this defense?
I think that's where he'll probably, I might start him in fantasy. I think he's going to get a bunch of targets. I just don't know, he doesn't have the explosiveness in him that perhaps the Jaguars saw against Oakland, for instance.
Right.
But did I just say Oakland? Las Vegas.
It's okay.
Old man
just
here.
a little bit behind.
So I think he'll get his targets, and he might end up being the leading receiver. But really, teams have done a good job this year of limiting Nico Collins. And if they just give a little bit of extra help on Nico Collins, everything else has just been so disjointed that unless when CJ was healthy, it was versus bad or banged up defenses. Man, he looked like classic CJ Stroud. And now, to a greater degree than, he was just playing a bad defense. Like, he really picked apart the 49ers, who were not bad but injured defensively. Mm-hmm. But against the better defenses, especially when the offensive line struggles with an overpowering defensive line, that's when the offense in total just doesn't do well. And that's where this will be a big measuring stick game for the left tackle, Ariante Urstry, the rookie. He had a really rough outing versus Josh Hines-Allen last time around. We'll see if he's improved at all. But, Josh Hines-Allen is still a better football player than him. The one area I think the Texans on the offensive line have improved a little bit since week 3 is in picking up some of the games by the defensive linemen, picking up blitzes. They're a little bit smarter and a little bit more sound in that regard. But some of the physical mismatches, if the right side of the offensive line is down, it's going to be really tough.
Seth, talk a little bit about some of those other pass catchers. Obviously, we know what Nico Collins is capable of, the reunion again with Christian Kirk. We talked early on in the season, the first matchup, about how I was a fan of those 2 draft picks in Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. What have you seen out of those 2, just those pass catchers in general?
We've seen frustratingly little of them, and I don't think it's completely their fault. That's been one of the points of frustration for a lot of Texans fans is that Jaden Higgins hasn't gotten targeted as much as it seems that he could have been. I think CJ took a while to get comfortable throwing to any of the younger guys. But with Jalen Noel a couple of weeks ago made some really nice plays against San Francisco. And then last week, he was almost absent from the game plan. He only played 11 snaps on offense. And with a rookie offensive coordinator who's trying to do a lot of the things that, they did back when he was up in New England with Josh McDaniels, I think this might be the classic instance of it's tough for rookies to grasp and integrate themselves into a complex offense. But it's frustrating when you look around the league and you see various other young wide receivers and rookie wide receivers, being used a lot more heavily. It does feel like there's a lot of talent either being misused or not used at all. And then as many of you Jaguars people predicted when Christian Kirk came over to Houston, he's just been out with injuries a lot, and it's been tough for him to really form a relationship as well.
Seth, big picture, how does the fan base feel about this team right now at 3-5? Do they feel like, okay, go out and beat the Jags, and you've got the Titans win back-to-back games, get back in this thing? Do they feel like it's pretty much falling apart, and they're frustrated with Nick Caserio, maybe a little frustrated with DeMeco Ryans and things like that? Like, will it be a packed house on Sunday? How's the fan base feeling right now?
I think frustration is probably the right word, and I think definitely, I know it's not a mathematical must-win, but with the way the division is this year and with the remaining schedule that the Texans have, it really is as close to a must-win as you can get. And, we don't know for sure if C.J. Stroud will be back next week. The last time he had a concussion, he was out for 2 weeks. But Texans face the Jaguars this week, and then they'll have the Titans on the road, which, okay, theoretically you should be able to take care of business. But then they've got the Bills, the Chiefs, Bills at home, but then the Chiefs and the Colts on the road after that. And then some tough contests down the road as well. So it would be really hard to see a way for the Texans to make the playoffs if they don't win this next game, and kind of set themselves up with a little bit of leeway for later on in the year. And then we're also trying to figure out whether do you get to a point where at some point you almost start cheering for the Colts to be really good, so that by week 18 when the Texans face them, maybe it's a meaningless game for the Colts and they rest some of their starters. But that's how things are in Houston. We're talking about hoping that the Colts are really, really good so that the Texans have an easier game in week 18.
Been there.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been in the situation where cheering for losses at that point in time, a.k.a. last year, towards the end of the season. Seth, are you coming to Jacksonville to party with Tom?
When?
Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
Whenever.
I should be coming there to party with you.
Time I'm there.
Yeah, man. Hey, I want to know. So you mentioned Josh Hines as we wrap up here. You're worried about him. We're always worried about your two studs, and Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. Who has the most number of sacks this Sunday? And Seth, who wins? And what's the score, brother? What do you think?
I think touchdowns are going to be hard to come by in NRG Stadium. I think that it's going to be another weird. Last week I predicted I predicted the Texans like 19-16, and I wasn't that far off on it being a weird score at least. But I would say I think it's going to be Jaguars 18 to. There's another one. Texans the kicker's down too.
That's right.
That's right. And this is an offense that just thrives on driving down to the 10, stalling out, and then kicking a field goal. So I'm going to have to say, what did I say? 18. I'll say 18-12.
18-12. All right, who has more sacks? Josh Hines Allen, Will Anderson Jr., or Danielle Hunter?
I'm going to say that it's Josh Hines Allen. Okay. I think Josh Hines Allen's going to have a really good day. I mean, if anything, he did better. Like the plays that he didn't have sacks versus the Texans were more valuable in that he caused at least one interception. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think. He had some, he really made an impact on CJ in that last game. And Davis got lucky not to throw. He could have 3 or 4 interceptions last week. So Josh Hines Allen, if I go sacks / combined like caused interceptions, I think it'll be Josh Hines Allen.
All right, brother. We appreciate your time, man. Much love to the family, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, you too. Thanks, guys.
All right, Seth Payne out the door. He was a great. Talk about a wide-body defensive tackle. His ass was so big, like gigantic. I'll never forget. We rented a party bus once. I forget it might have been my wife's birthday or something, and he was there, and he went by us, and I swear it took up the whole aisle, the backside of that man. But he was great at the point of attack and allowed the linebackers to make plays. So, and he's been doing radio for a long time out in Houston. So
he does a great job, and he keeps a sense of humor, which is good too. And I should have clarified. I didn't mean this weekend. He just always so longingly talks about those days, back
good old days.
Yeah, living at the beach. So after the season, when their team has only 3 wins for the entire season and ours has 12 at that point in time. All right, more to do on the other side, including Tom's takeaways. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios.
It's your boy, Big Sirs, all-pro lineman and your lemon pepper guy. Nothing screams game day like Wingstop. But get this, every Saturday and Sunday this football season, score big with Wingstop special deals. Order a 100-piece wing pack online at wingstop.com or the Wingstop app using promo code JAX20 and get $20 off. That's right, carry out or delivery. It's your call. Use online promo code JAX20 for $20 off a 100-piece wing pack. Fire up your game day order this weekend with Wingstop.
Crown Royal Friday on Helmets and Heels.
Calling all poker players. The leaves are falling, but the poker is hot at Best Bet St. Augustine. Cash in on all the excitement with InstaPay every day, game day lucky seats, and daily tournaments and high hand promotions. Then don't miss out on the $400 no-limit hold'em, $40,000 guaranteed St. Augustine Championship, November 29th. Best Bet St. Augustine off I-95, exit 311. For all the details, visit bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With almost 1,800 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform your clutter into seamless organization like they did for us. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before the holidays and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit them online, closetsbydesign.com.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. Right now, you can get 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card and $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. It's a smart way to handle big vehicle needs like new tires, brakes, or repairs without the upfront cost. With no interest for 6 months, there's never been a better time to schedule. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rollin'.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville trusts. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
This song was supposed to be the song
of the year
for the Florida Gators, and Jaden Bob bought a bang to bang. I don't know if y'all have noticed. I'm not even wearing orange and blue today.
You got the teal on
today. It
today.
makes me so sad that I have literally worn orange and blue on Fridays before every game day for like 20 years. And I finally have given up because I feel like my football team has given up. Maybe not all of them, but it just doesn't feel like it's going to, go
There's
well.
definitely
the rest
guys
of the
saying they're
season.
not even playing now for the season.
Yeah, and you know what? The Jags take priority in my life right now, and so we're all in on the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, there's been a report from ESPN's Mike Duraco that Brian Thomas Jr. will not play on Sunday with a high ankle. Other reporters I'm seeing are saying that's what they guess based off of what Liam Coen said earlier today, but I want to let everyone hear Liam Coen's comments, and then you can certainly come to your own conclusions.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can obviously still do it within schematically as well, but it hurts. I mean, he can roll, and he rises to playing against these guys. He has in the past and had a huge moment for us in that game last time to seal that victory. So not having him is a big deal for us. And, those guys are going to continue to have to step up again this week and go make some dirty, grimy, contested plays. And that's the kind of game it's going to have to be.
So there you have it.
I think he's out.
It sure as heck sounds like he's out. And that's why I'm sure D-Rock put that out there.
Yeah, so just to let people know, D-Rock's article did say that obviously Travis Hunter's on IR. He says wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. out versus Texans due to ankle injury. He also said De'Ami Brown has yet to clear concussion protocol.
So it's interesting that he's able to be a full participant at practice yesterday, even though I know it's not the same type of practice as in training camp. But if you're not cleared yet, so hopefully, obviously, he gets cleared before Sunday.
Tim Jones needs to go from 1 reception to 4. I mean, you'd have to do something.
Gonna have
right?
to.
And Jacoby Myers
get him a couple,
and is going to have to come in clutch. And Tim Patrick, I believe that he'll be back.
Is he going to be back?
I believe so.
Yeah,
and
Parker,
so and so that's also helpful. Yeah, because
and what about Hunter? Is he Long?
Hunter Long,
he had
yesterday did not participate on Wednesday with a hip and a knee, but Tim Patrick did participate in full both Wednesday and Thursday with the groin injury.
Yeah.
So again, we'll get the final injury report in just a little bit, but we talked about the pass rush with Seth Payne. Let's hear your takeaways for today.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, so my takeaways for today on this Friday. I know what Seth Payne said, and I respect that. He says he don't care about the sacks. Well, around here, we care about the sacks. I know I do, with just 2 on the year. So I just did a little tiny bit of looking around, because I just hadn't done it in a while, as far as like who's leading the league in sacks and yada yada. So I'm looking at the list, and I'm looking at Brian Burns. He's got 11. Miles got 10. Byron Young's got 9. Benito's got 9.5. And I'm like, and he's at 2. So now I'm ticked off. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I get it. Things happen, but you just have not gotten the quarterback down to the ground, and you're paid to do that. And then I do a little bit further, and I see at 5.5 sacks is Levon Chase on for the New England Patriots. I'm like, damn, he's had some sacks the past. So I just look back, and I'm like, oh, wow, he's got 5.5 this year so far this season. He had 5 last year. Josh has got 8 and 2. He's got a half a sack more than Josh Hines-Allen. Yeah. And you can give me all the reasons and all this stuff, and I don't care about any of it, because it doesn't matter, because his job is to get to the quarterback and get him on the ground. Will that change? Will it? I don't know. Look, last week, Ogba and him combined. The other one was a good hustle play. It's okay. It counts. But it was like Max Crosby's sack on Trevor. That wasn't a great rush. Yeah. He just hustled him down as he tried to escape. Well, Josh did the same darn thing. So I need to see more out of Josh Hines-Allen. I need to see more moves. I need to see more games. And I need to see him get to Davis Mills. He's done very well against them in the past, the Texans. I expect a massive game out of Josh Hines-Allen. And so we can start calling you one of the best pass rushers in the game, because right now you're nowhere close, in my opinion. That's my takeaway today, brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Yeah, Josh Hines-Allen is well aware of the fact that he is tied for the franchise record in sacks. Like, he's well aware that he's tied. He's not the leader. Yeah. He knows that he's tied. Yeah. You know that he wants to get it, not necessarily at home, but he wants to get it as soon as possible. Yeah. So I would imagine, because he did have such success against this Texans offensive line the most previous time that they played earlier in September, against Ursery especially, I would guess that he gets at least 1 sack on Sunday.
Okay, fair enough, but he should have broken that record in week 3. Not
like
week
9.
He could have broken it in week 1 against the Panthers.
Yeah.
And Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And side note too, the Levon's missed a game and a half, and they've had their bye too. So and you still have 5.5 out of him this season. But yeah, I think that at some point, and we've talked about this, I keep seeing Josh Hines-Allen still on all of the lists of pressures. He's towards the top of pressures in the league, and that's great. I'm glad you're still trying to create certain things and whatever, but at some point you get paid like a top pass rusher in the league, so you have to get to the quarterback because this is getting to the point where it is affecting other things. We've talked about the secondary and how much no pass rush is affecting certain things that are happening up there. It's affecting the entire defense at this point that Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen aren't getting to the quarterback consistently.
Yeah. Well, and you look at the guys they're going against on the other side, Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter, they're at 10 total, and we're at 4. Like, okay, the injury to Trayvon, you got to give him a little bit of leeway there because he couldn't use his hand.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. But Josh, he's got to get it going, man. And pressures are good. But pressures are also, you don't know exactly what the pressure did. Could have pressured him out of the pocket and make a throw.
Yeah.
So that doesn't
Could have
mean
pressured
anything.
him into something good.
I mean, it is helpful for Will Anderson Jr. to have Danielle Hunter. And it's helpful for Danielle Hunter to have Will Anderson Jr.
They still do it on their own, though.
And we've talked about this. You look at other teams, and Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby, they don't all have the Batman.
Well, with Minnesota, Danielle didn't. I mean, he was pretty much the guy. I mean, he might have had some inside guys that were good, but he's a guy that's been able to get to the quarterback 14, 15, 12.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really racked them up.
Yeah, the most consistent pass rushers, the elite ones, they don't have the drop-off years. And I think that's what we've all been saying about Josh Hines-Allen is once you reach that point, you don't fall off. Like maybe your rookie season, you don't see all these guys get to double digits. But once they hit double digits, all the TJ Watts and the Myles Garretts and the Max Crosby, once they hit double digits, they never again come off double digits. It's 17 games and then more than that if you're in the postseason.
In his defense, right? Because it does. Josh Hines-Allen, because it does matter. Eric Armstead and whoever else is at 3 never get double team. If they double team Josh.
Right.
And we need that defensive tackle to start making some penetration, so they have to think about double teaming.
Yeah, the trade deadline hasn't happened, right? We can get Quentin Williams still. Isn't that an option?
You can get some defensive tackle help.
Right.
That says a lot. They're not happy with our 3 technique. If that's true, they really went after Quentin Williams.
Right.
Right? I mean, that means
because
it ain't Devon Hamilton.
How could you be happy with the 3 technique?
You
And I'm
can't.
not saying that they hate any of the guys.
No.
But
They
I think
expect
I think that they haven't gotten the production. But what's ironic, and I think I've said this before the draft, everyone outside of Jacksonville pegged Mason Graham to Jacksonville because everyone said they need a defensive tackle.
Right, yeah.
And then how many defensive tackles did the Jaguars this regime take in the draft?
Yeah.
0.
Right.
So they felt
in the
good about it.
offseason.
Right, in the offseason in general. I guess they brought in, or they traded for Colin Saunders, they brought in Austin Johnson, but those are the 3 technique guys.
We thought Mason Smith was going to be a tough, like a real good player. We thought Eric was going to be even more dominant because he's moving
back
inside.
Yeah.
We expected a lot. I think the biggest but nice thing is Devon Hamilton.
Absolutely.
He's playing really good for our nose tackle. So
and Mason and Eric did miss a lot of training camp with those injuries. So, how much time did they need to get acclimated? But Eric leads the team in sacks, and Mason Smith he's been playing for a while, and there's not a lot of interior pass rush there. All right, Taylor's Tangent is on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the Queen Law Group Studios.
Helmets and Heels.
Florida Gators football.
All the way to the goal line.
The Gators crawl on the bluegrass.
Touchdown, Gators.
Florida, Kentucky, Saturday at 7:30 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner. So are you ready to float happy in the pool? Listen up. This month, Surfside Pools offering 10% on new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. That's right. Now is the time to upgrade your pool heating system and extend that swimming season for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pools, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
Hey, Tommy Mack here, and when it comes to glass, you don't want average, you want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style, fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to those Florida storms, all backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name for Glass and Mirror, and it's Duval.
It's a Crown Royal Friday on Helmets and Heels.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
What's happening, beautiful people? It's your main man, E to the T here. And cool air, open trails, and that perfect Florida winter sunshine, woo! It's the season to get outside and explore Clay County. From Christmas parades and hometown festivals to holiday markets and local theater shows, holiday magic is lighting up every corner of Clay County. Get outside, get moving, and get active. Come see everything happening this season at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 7th, 1991, Magic Johnson retires from the NBA after disclosing that he had tested positive for the HIV virus.
Watch football this season in downtown Duval at Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. 2 floors, 15 TVs, a giant projector, 80 self-pour taps of ice-cold craft beer, wine and cocktails, plus a full bar. Wings, burgers, and more, and pizza delivered to your table from Pizza Dynamo. Downtown at Laura and Forsyth. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. A beer festival every day.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs. You name it, we've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
At Beard's Diamonds, we celebrate your anniversaries all the time. But now it's time for you to celebrate ours with the biggest sale all year. Beard's 44th anniversary sale is happening now with up to 44% savings. This is our biggest and final store-wide event of the year with our largest selection and lowest prices. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, colored gemstones, gold fashion. Our cases are jam-packed and our associates know they can break all the rules for this. So come join us as we mark another year of proudly serving Jacksonville. In a sea of corporate chain jewelry stores, we're honored to be the only local jeweler in the town center. No commission salespeople, no corporate chain sales gimmicks, no treating you like a number. At Beard's, we're local people serving local people with honesty, integrity, transparency, and good old-fashioned customer care. Don't miss Beard's Diamonds 44th anniversary sale. From gold necklaces to lab-grown diamond studs to all the latest styles from top designers. You'll find it all at Beard's in the St. John's Town Center.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
People who listen to XL Primetime give away tickets to Toto hear this song. They're probably calling right now. We aren't giving away any tickets. I'm sorry. RJ just wanted to play Toto.
It's a good tune.
Absolutely.
What's the title? Africa?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
good.
correct.
Yeah.
It's a good
they
song.
had like, 5 hits, maybe? Something like that?
I
Maybe
wouldn't
more?
have even thought that many.
Oh, no? No.
I would have thought a couple, but I
I would
also
have thought Africa.
There's one more that you know.
Yeah, there's a couple, I think, that we would all know. By
Hold the
Toto.
Line, you would know Hold the Line.
Yeah.
I honestly even only know Africa because of a cover, too.
Oh, okay.
And there's a song about a girl, I think.
Rosanna.
Rosanna.
I think I might
That's
know
right.
that one.
Yeah, you know
Rosanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you would know Hold the Line. But
Okay.
now we're going to test RJ.
Yeah, we'll see.
RJ's out there figuring it
Test
out.
his skills.
We'll play that
RJ.
as Eric Armstead joins us in the next segment. But time now for Taylor's Tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
I wanted to chat a little bit about last night's game. We had some vintage Thursday night football last night, but some crazy stats coming out of that game because it was just weird. But there were 13 3-and-outs in the game, 15 punts, 3 interceptions, 2 missed field goals, a blocked punt, 8 sacks. More than half of the Raiders' drives didn't go farther than 2 yards. So that's some of the numbers to look at for that one.
And our
there was
defense
also
did what?
There was also 10-plus penalties, more penalties than points, more penalties than first downs, an entire quarter without a first down, under 100 rush yards, under 150 net passing yards, and as I mentioned before, we had a couple missed field goals too. So very sloppy, weird game last night. I feel like the uniforms, Broncos uniforms, that have to be some of my favorite uniforms in the NFL. Those
Orange and
throwbacks.
blue.
Yeah. I just love those throwbacks. But yeah, if you want to watch some sloppy, who knows what's going on type of game, go back and watch the Thursday night game. I saw people tweeting because the Broncos, so the one punt, which was the worst punt I've ever seen in my entire life, it like comes off the side of his foot and goes like a couple yards. Then he had one of the most beautiful punts I've ever seen later in the game. It hits like the 5-yard line and perfectly just rolls like horizontal down the side. I'm like, if you want to talk about just a game that has no actual storyline, straight storyline at all, that was last night.
And at the end, I was just going to say, Tom, the Raiders had a chance to tie the ball game, and the field goal kicker misses Daniel Carlson a week after, of course, missing that PAT against the Jags, not even a week. But does it make you feel a little bit better about the Broncos game in December? I mean, I know that's at Mile High, obviously, and we have a ways to get to that. But the Jaguars do face the Broncos, and I felt like they looked a lot better a couple weeks ago.
I was more so like they just let the Geno Smith look like that against them is where my mind
that's
went
what
with
I'm
that.
worried about. I mean,
and the Broncos can sack the quarterback.
You see the difference with pressure.
Oh, big time.
They're
insane, by the way, their defense.
They are.
Oh my
their
gosh.
D-line's great. They call a good game. They're aggressive. But yeah, that's what makes the difference. I mean, you sit there and watch. That's the first thing I thought of. Man, okay, it was a boring game and they had to find a way to win. But the Raiders, they couldn't do anything. But they could do plenty against our D. They had no problem going up and down the field on RD.
Yeah.
So now that doesn't mean, A plus B equals C all the time. That's different games. It's a quick, they had a quick turnaround. I get it. That's all part of it. But at the same time, you're like, that's how you see the difference between a team that gets after the quarterback and a team that doesn't. Because you can make a Geno Smith, who's had a great career. He's played a long time in the NFL.
Yeah.
But you can make him look really good without pressure, and you can make him look really bad with pressure. And you saw it back-to-back weeks.
But I do think on the other side, as you were saying, Lauren, I think you look at Denver, and there are definitely exploitable things. Defensively, it's scary. I'm terrified to go up against this defense, honestly, and especially because this defense, the Jaguars defense, hasn't played well. And so you're looking at something where it's like, okay, the Jaguars defense hasn't played well. Maybe the Denver offense isn't as good as people thought they were early on. Bo Nix is coming down to earth a little bit with some things. They don't run the ball great. Yeah. But their defense, I feel like, can eat up the Jaguars if they play the way that they have recently.
Houston's similar.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
They have a top defense, too.
Yeah, so that
they have the lowest completion percentage allowed in the NFL, Houston Texans. So
it's like 57%.
Yeah, it's just
insane.
Speaking of interceptions, the good news is Devin Lloyd will be back for the game, for the Jaguars, for the game against the Texans on Sunday. And so you hope that the guy who leads this team still with interceptions after missing a couple weeks can also get back to that with the takeaways. Obviously, the Jags had one takeaway against the Raiders. But I think overall, the Jaguars are a team that has to, we've said this so many times, they have to play within themselves. Like, they can beat the Texans if they run the football, if they are penalty free or at least reduce the penalties. If they do finally start to get after the quarterback, right? Like, that's a formula for success that we pretty much saw early in the season, like week 1, and then they've kind of gotten away from it.
Yeah, I think that there's ways they do some things well. It's just I feel like they haven't put all of those things together at one time has been the issue. Every game it's been a different way you're winning, which sometimes is good, but at some point, what is your identity? And I don't know if they have one right now outside of running the ball, but then they haven't even leaned into that every game.
I think it's all the foundation is the physicality. And they've shown when they're physical, they're going to play well. When they're not, they're not. I mean, Seattle and LA both beat us up pretty good. Came back against the Raiders. You gotta go into Houston, especially on the road. Like, that's when you really gotta be physical, because that's really your only hope. That's how you could take a crowd out of a game. You know what I mean? If they go down the field and push you around and it's easy and they're running the ball and they're throwing, you'll never recover. It'd be hard to recover. But you got to take care. You got to win this one. This is a pivotal game for both teams, by the way.
Big time.
I mean, they're sitting there going, man, we could beat them, but if we don't, we're pretty much done.
Very.
Like, it's gonna be really hard to catch up, and we're kind of not to that extent. We're like, oh man, if you don't beat the Texans now, you got to climb back. Now you got to beat the Chargers. Like, You might have had a little wiggle room there if you beat the Texans.
You go to have to wins. That's what it turns into.
This is the third one, I think, of the season already, of a team that the Jaguars have to win. Like week 1 to me was you have to win this game because no one thought much of the Panthers. It's different now, but the Panthers are a better team than what we thought.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Raiders, you had to win that football game. Like you have to. Like there's no other option. You have to win the football game. They almost didn't, but they did. Now this week is you have to because the quarterback isn't there. CJ Stroud is not there. Yep. And Davis Mills is not necessarily great in the NFL. So we all know, though, backup quarterbacks at times can have their way. But I think it's a little different. Like Jake Browning entered that game when all week the Jags had prepared for Joe Burrow. This time around, they're preparing for Davis Mills, and they have film on him. They just have to get after the quarterback.
I'm sure they prepared for Geno too.
And Matthew Stafford.
Just didn't work out.
Yeah, those are the backup quarterbacks. Those are the main quarterbacks.
I know.
All right, we've got lunch to give away on this Friday.
We do. Free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 4, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A.
All right, caller number 4, when we return, Eric Armstead will join us. Hopefully he gets 4 sacks this coming Sunday. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
Offense puts people in seats. Points put teams in the playoffs. Who will be this week's Offensive Player of the Game on 1010XL? Nailed down by Universal Roof and Contracting.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Hey, Jag fans, Crown Royal is a proud partner of our Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you because we'll be sharing that generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with the generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Remember, please drink responsibly.
Helmets and Heels Crown Royal Friday.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Hey, we all know life can get a little hectic at times, and no one has time to get hurt. Lost wages, injuries that not only hurt, but ones that hinder our success. If you're in this position due to the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. What's up, Jacksonville? This is Tom McManus, and injuries suck. And if you get injured out there, check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the country. 100 offices with over 1,000 lawyers with enough firepower to handle any and all personal injury cases that you may be dealing with. And they make filing a claim easy and don't get paid unless you do. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com or hit Pound Law from your cell. Pound Law, that's all.
Catch the Jacksonville Jaguars every day.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
With Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Talking Teal every weekday from 10 to noon.
Jaguars Today.
On 1010XL.
This is Niall Lawrence Stample, national champion and owner of NLS Cleaning. Fall is here. That means events, holidays, and gatherings. And we are your commercial and residential exterior cleaning experts to make sure you look good. We handle pressure washing, gutter cleaning, windows, and paver sealing the right way. Let us get your home or business looking its best before guests arrive. Call us at 904-708-8802. That's 708-8802. NLS Cleaning, championship service every time.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, Prosper here, and right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait, no hard credit pull. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 914-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 914-999-1508. See how much cash you can get today. You can also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Did you know Duck Duck Rooter is the area's go-to plumber? A 5-star Google-rated company, Duck Duck Rooter can take care of all of your plumbing repairs and upgrades. Need to switch from septic over to city sewer? Call the Duck. How about water heater repairs and replacement? You're just a duck away, or call away, for Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Brandon Ruffin. The Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. has officially been ruled out of Sunday's Week 10 matchup at the Houston Texans. Thomas has been questionable with an ankle injury all week as he's officially upgraded to out today. The Jaguars are now down 2 receivers in BTJ and Travis Hunter and could possibly miss Diami Brown as well, who is yet to clear concussion protocol. It's 80 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We are efforting for Jaguars defensive tackle Eric Armstead. In the meantime, I didn't watch that awful game that closely last night and towards the end because I was watching the Florida men's basketball team take care of the UNF Ospreys. Sorry, Coach Kennan. He made his debut as the UNF head coach. Look, UNF is just overmatched by a team that is as massive as Florida. And when you have a guy like Alex Condon, a guy like Micah Hanlongton, you just keep running the bigs at him. Thomas Houck, obviously. Condon bounced back from the game when the Gators lost to Arizona in Vegas and had 25 points, which was really impressive for him. But yeah, and Ruben Chinyelu too, like they just keep running big guys at you, and so it certainly, like I said, it was lopsided. Obviously, 104-64 for Florida, but it was
you
cool.
Saw Olivier
at the very end of the game. Olivier Ryu got in. He is 7'9".
The video looks so funny with the coach, like on his butt pretty much because Olivier is so tall, and it almost just look. I don't even know. It's so awkward.
All the players looking up at him for sure. Yeah. This guy also has people looking up to him. Let's say hello to Eric Armstead.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Eric, I know you're not quite 7'9", but 6'8", a lot of people look up to you.
Yeah. From time to time. Rarely, but a few times in my life that I'm around people taller than me. It's a weird feeling.
I bet. All right, I want to talk about that LeQuint Allen video, the mic'd up video, but more just how he is in practice every day. Is he always a Spitfire, Eric?
Yeah, he's been in the mix since he came in as a rookie. He's mixing it up during training camp and making his presence felt, and so that was expected. But he going into the game, he knew he was going to be mic'd up, so I think he was preparing for some of those situations, trying to go viral a little bit. So.
Well,
he was writing them down the night before. What can I say to Max Crosby tomorrow?
I love that.
Yeah.
Trying
to get his sayings together, just in case there was a situation like that, and he was prepared for it.
I love it. Eric, before we look ahead to this weekend, I do want to talk a couple things about this Raiders game, because one of the big, I feel like, momentum shifters, something that sparked a fire, is Cam Little and making that 68-yard field goal, obviously setting a record in the NFL. What was your reaction watching and just seeing that actually happen?
It was a part of history. It was awesome to see. We knew what he was capable of. He showed it in the preseason, so we all know that he can kick it from that far. But I think that the most impressive thing about setting the record for longest field goals in NFL history, which he did, was the prior weeks. You know, he was fighting through adversity and, you know, struggling a little bit, as all of us players do from time to time. And so it wasn't like he, you know, a week prior he had hit a 60 and then a 65 or something to, you know, have that momentum. It was really coming off of, you know, him struggling. And so I think that made, you know, setting that record and even more impressive because of the adversity that he had to fight through mentally, you know, find a way to have success and get his swagger back. So that was cool to see.
Eric, it's great to get a win out there. A win's a win, and that's all that matters. What was the conversation like on Monday after watching the film with Coach Campanile? Your offense kept giving you leads. They kept coming back. What was the message, you guys, and how do you get better at getting off the field?
Yeah, we had a victory Monday. So actually this week we didn't come in on Monday and all watch the film together. We reviewed a few things on Wednesday when we came in. But, you know, I think getting off the field, it's being better in certain situations, you know, being us putting more pressure up front and then also on the back end being stickier in coverage. I feel like, you know, the Raiders have been struggling, and they came in with a game plan to, you know, run the football and a lot of quick throws. You know, Brock Bowers, one of their weapons, came back. And so that was kind of their game plan, was to get the ball out quick, and they were able to find a rhythm. And so for us moving forward, that's about, you know, being stickier in coverage and taking away those first looks and us, you know, creating more pressure up front to, you know, rattle whatever quarterback we're playing, because, as you know, things don't necessarily change in this NFL. You know, we all get paid to play. There's talent all over the league, and so you have to be on it each and every week.
Eric, you faced this team obviously once already this season. When you watch the film back from that game and their games most recently as well, what do you see from this offensive line that you can take advantage of?
Yeah, I feel watching that first game again, we did a great job. We played with our hair on fire, and we were very aggressive, especially up front, and, you know, kind of overwhelmed them with our presence, of style of play. And that's what we need to do again, and even turn it up to another level possible, is overwhelming them, you know, with how we come off the ball, how we, our physicality, and how we play up front. And it always starts with making them one-dimensional, and so stopping that run early, and then hopefully we can put ourselves in some positions to be able to just tee off and play free and get in the backfield as well.
Eric, trade deadline move of bringing Jakobi Meyers to Jacksonville. I feel like James Gladstone now has a little trend of playing a team and then bringing someone back with him to Jacksonville, as this is the third time it's happened this season so far. But just talk a little bit about Jakobi and what he can add to that offensive room for the Jaguars.
Yeah, you know, of course, have heard of Jakobi. You know, hadn't really did too much studying or know him as a player, just, you know, more so the name. But now he's on our team and kind of doing some research of what he brings is, you know, physicality, a tough receiver who can, you know, make contested catches in the middle. And I think that's going to add an element that our team really needs, and definitely looking forward to having him. Very interesting, though, just facing against him. And I remember last Sunday, like, him and our DBs were talking a lot of mess to one another. So much so, like, you know, I don't really talk too much unless someone talks to me, but I heard them going back at it, and I was kind of surprised looking back, like, oh wow, this dude's really talking crazy to us. So to be on our team now is kind of funny. But no, he's an awesome player, and look forward to what he's going to bring to our team.
Eric
Let's
Armstead.
mic him up.
Yeah, no doubt. Eric Armstead here with us on Helmets and Heels. You get Devin Lloyd back this week. Eric, that's huge from our point of view. How about inside that locker room?
Yes. Devin had been playing lights out, but prior to the injury and, really at a defensive player of the year type level. So anytime you can get a player like that back on our defense, on our team, it's going to be a big boost of energy and playmaking ability out there. And it's awesome having him back, and I'm excited for him to get back out there and continue to show what people he can do. And, he's been taking the ball away at a high level and playing outstanding this season. And, he's in line for a big, huge contract at the end of the year. And so I'm excited that he can get back out here and, show what he can do and help our team win games.
Absolutely. Eric, I know you're the Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, but have you ever lost a bet with a teammate? And if so, what was your punishment?
Have I ever lost a bet with a teammate?
Mm-hmm.
I've done some of the, college, school bets where you gotta wear the other team stuff. But Oregon has pulled it out in majority of those games, so I've been pretty good.
All right, excellent. Well, good luck on Sunday. Have a safe trip to Houston and get some more sacks.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Eric. Sounds good. Talk to you next Friday. There goes Eric Armstead. Yeah, I know college team or players in the NFL still love to talk trash with their college teams. Yeah. And then you always see the pictures of, was it recently Caleb Williams?
Yeah, he had to wear the Notre Dame jersey.
One of his teammates,
When you say sacks on the radio, I wonder if it sounds like sex sometimes. Go on, get some more sex, Eric.
S-A-C-K-S.
That just made me, I can't remember the guy's name. He always goes to the Super Bowl. He's like the little shorter Spanish comedian that will ask the funny questions. Yeah. He's been on my TikTok a lot lately, just from little clips of what he says. And so he was on the one, it was right after Kansas City, when Kansas City could have had a three-peat, but he kept saying, he was like, so how have you thought about if you might get a threesome? And Andy Reid's like, what? And he's like, a threesome? Do you want a threesome? And Andy Reid's like, yeah, but what exactly are we talking about? And he's like 3 Super Bowls in a row. And he's like, oh, three-peat. Yeah, that's you. It was so funny. I was cracking up.
All in your word choices.
That's right.
All in your word choices. That's why I say Trevor's passes, not Trevor's balls. There it is. All right. On the other side, we will make our picks. There may be a reason that I asked Eric Armstead about a punishment. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you. Setting the field on fire with electrifying plays.
What a play. What a play.
But in the end, there's always a play that stood out.
Did you have to go Sports Center on me, though?
Listen for the performance painting high-performance play of the game on 1010XL.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who was having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Crown Royal Friday. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Michael Tousell in Jacksonville at 904-425-4100.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Duval. Yes, you heard that right. We love being in Duval County, and we love this city. So during football season, it's absolutely Luval around here. Hey, it's Don from Tagaloo, and yes, it is that time of year again. I know everyone's working hard all week getting ready for game day. Tagaloo is ready for you. If it's pregame, if it's postgame, during the game, no matter what your game is, enjoy it with us at Tagaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
Luval. When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day, and we'll be honoring those who have served our nation all day and night at String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach with a free barbecue sandwich, sides, and a beer. That's for all veterans and active duty military members anytime on Veterans Day. Plus, our show's going to be there live from 4 to 6. So thanks to our friends at the Firewatch for putting this on. So come out and hang out with us and honor veterans. That's at Strings on Veterans Day, November 11th.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
This is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Tired of your hair falling out? Our hair restoration solutions have helped over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Jason, I called you about the ductwork in my attic this summer, and you totally blew me off.
I did.
My airflow is too low and my bills are too high.
I know.
There's stains on my ceiling tiles and sweating around the vents, and the mice have chewed so many holes in the ducts, I think they're getting more AC than I am.
I know.
Then how could you let me suffer all summer, Jason?
Because summer is the one time of year I just can't send my technician into someone's steaming hot attic. They'd kill me. Ductwork is hot, cramped work at the best of times. Lucky for you, those best of times are in November.
You mean like now?
Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair your old, damaged, or just plain sketchy ductwork right now when it's not too hot and not too cold.
And none of your technicians will kill you.
It's a win-win.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Adam Schefter tweeting out moments ago what we talked about earlier. Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. will miss Sunday's game against the Texans due to his high ankle sprain. So, like I said, I'm not sure where the confusion arose. We played the clip from Liam Coen. You can kind of tell they're planning on not having him. But it seemed like other people were kind of waiting for the final injury report to be sent out, which will happen a little bit later today. But yeah, the Jaguars will have to make do without Brian Thomas Jr. If you had told me before the season the Jaguars would have to go into this matchup against the Texans without him, I would have been really scared because I would have assumed that to this point in time, he already had maybe 8 touchdowns on the season. And he was the go-to guy. Because that's not the case. It feels like Trevor Lawrence has really been spreading the ball around all season long. And so, yeah, he's going to have to get the ball to Parker Washington, his main weapon, I think, right now. But also certainly Jacoby Myers is new here, sure, but he needs to play. If they don't have Hunter Long, can Quentin Morris come back? But he's more of the blocking tight end, so then you're relying on really just Johnny Munt. Yeah. Maybe you call it Patrick Herbert off the practice squad, the brother of Justin Herbert, as far as having another pass-catching tight end. But Austin Trammell, Tim Jones, Tim Patrick, like Trevor Lawrence can get the ball to any of those guys.
Got to get the running backs involved in catching some passes.
Certainly have to do that as well.
ETN.
How about being out? Look, like you said with BT, you're without BT, Travis, and Strange. You thought that going into
you're absolutely right. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have been as worried about not having Travis on offense because I have always thought like they're going to miss him more as a corner than as a receiver. I don't know if that's really the case right now, but that's what I thought. And then,
but if he wasn't on offense, he wasn't on defense.
That's
Is the
true.
problem.
But yeah, if De'Ami Brown doesn't play, it's a different thing. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lawrence Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues. This is luxury. This is Mazda at the Avenues.
Thank you, Tom McManus, for playing football right before we get to our picks. I'm mad at college football. I feel like I've said this a few times this season, but this weekend, amongst a lot of them, and we'll make our picks, like I said, here in a second, there is absolutely no juice for certain games this weekend. And I'll tell you, like LSU Alabama, at one point in time was billed the game of the century.
Yeah.
How many people are talking and excited about LSU Alabama on Saturday night at
not
7:30?
many.
No, people are going to be watching other games instead of that one.
Should be a good game, though, right? You'd think? Close? No, or you
So
think Bama's
it is
gonna beat 'em
interesting. LSU is going to play two quarterbacks, not just Nussmeier. They're going to play Michael Van Buren as well because he's more of a dual threat guy. So that can present challenges to Alabama. And I'm surprised that the interim coach even told anybody that they were going to do that because make Kalen DeBoer's squad have to not be ready for that.
Right.
But look, Alabama has, I mean, this is a massive game for Bama, and it's at home in Tuscaloosa.
Absolutely.
So I would think that it's not that close by the end, but maybe you see a little bit of that fired coach bump.
Yeah.
At least at halftime. Certainly we
the
shall see.
unpredictableness of
What's Bama,
an
4?
offense that wasn't working the whole year.
4 in the playoff at Bama right now, aren't they 4th?
Yes.
Right, something like 4.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
Ohio
they
State,
got to win this one.
Indiana,
Kansas,
Texas
Texas.
A&M,
And then-
Alabama,
and
if I
then-
remember
yeah.
correctly. Exactly, yeah. But yeah, and then we have FSU Clemson, which is in our picks. Nobody cares about that game. It used to be one of the biggest games, obviously not just in the ACC, but in all of the country as well. And so college football, get it together.
What's the over-under on Dabo approaching the media on Monday complaining about something? What's the over?
Pretty high.
that
Yeah,
game
if he
goes.
wins, you won't hear it.
Exactly. And of course, like a Florida Kentucky, which a few years ago was an important game in the SEC.
Yeah.
Now, again, nobody's talking about it. Surprisingly, Florida, despite all the injuries, is a 3-point favorite on the road, but that's because Kentucky is terrible
Bad.
on offense, especially. All right, let's make our picks, and then we'll discuss what the loser of the first month, or the second month, I should say. We had no loser for the first month. The loser of the second month, Taylor Dahl, what she should have to do. But we will kick things off. We're only going to pick one college game because, like we just detailed, the college football slate this weekend is all right, but not ideal. All right, I will start with you, Taylor Dahl. FSU at Clemson. Clemson is a 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm actually going FSU on this one. I think that FSU's offense is sneakily, they score a lot. And I think that's what kind of pops out to me because they're in top 10 of scoring in college football. So I do think that kind of gets thrown under the rug a little bit because they've been losing. But I still think that with the way that things have been going for Clemson, I could see FSU pulling this one out.
I'm actually with Taylor. I do think Thomas Castellanos, when healthy, has found something, and Deuce Robinson is really, really good. Plus the way that the seasons have gone recently. FSU was looking putrid and then all of a sudden had a great game against Wake Forest. Clemson, meanwhile, just lost to Duke. Tom, who you got?
I got FSU, believe it or
Oh,
not.
I'll win it.
It's a clean
Dabo's a
sweep.
baby, so I don't vote for babies.
I thought
don't
for sure
like-
you'd
I
pick
don't like-
Clemson just because of
Well, I had
anti-Castellanos.
to go quitter or baby, quitter or baby. I went with quitter. Okay, I don't know. But I wasn't gonna go with Dabo. But no, listen, I think it's amazing how we thought maybe both these teams would be pretty good this year, and neither one are really that good.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think
we
Florida
thought
State
FSU
pulls it
was
off.
not, and then after week one, you were like,
Yeah,
okay,
right,
never mind, they
right.
are, and then you're like, never mind,
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been a tough year for the Seminoles for sure, and certainly Clemson. People thought Clemson was a top 10 team
Yeah.
and would make the playoff, and
Yeah, right.
things have not gone according to plan. All right, let's switch it to the National Football League. RJ, we're going to start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing host to the Patriots. The Bucs are a 2.5-point favorite. Tom, who you got?
This is going to be a really great game, I think. That's why I emailed you this morning. I was like,
let's pick this.
This one's going to be tough. Like, it's a tough pick. I mean, look, they're both 2-loss teams. One is 7-2, 6-2. New England's kind of a surprise of the year. Drake May's a surprise. Vrabel's got them playing. You always felt like their defense, they just seem to always have decent defense. But, look, you get McDaniels as the OC that's coming together. He's a great OC. Don't ever be a head coach, Josh. You never have to be. Just be a great OC. And they're playing some good football. But how do you go against Baker Mayfield and company? Well, I do because I'm picking the Pats. But, I think it's going to be a close game. I think they win by a field goal, so they're just going to beat the cover at 2.5. But, yeah, I think the Pats go to Tampa and show that they are a real legitimate contender in the AFC.
All right, Taylor, I'll tell you right here, right now, I've got the Bucs. I'm not going against Baker Mayfield, and something tells me you won't either.
Yeah, I am picking the Bucs. It scares me a little bit just because Bucky Irving's not playing, Godwin's not playing. There's a lot of injuries. If you look at their injury list, it's bad right now. It's rough when it comes to down there in Tampa Bay, but I still think Baker is able to do some really incredible things. It'll be I think this will be a fun game, to your point, Tommy.
Yeah.
That Baker Mayfield and what he can do against this Patriots defense that's been playing really well, and then also Drake May, who has been talked about very highly to start the season, now going against a better team in the Tampa Bay Bucks. So it'll be really fun to watch this.
Yeah, there's a couple guys for the Patriots out too. Keyshawn Butte, Ramondre Stevenson. It's that time of the year.
Which Butte's been May's deep ball threat all season.
Yep, you got that right. All right, our next game in the NFL comes up on Monday Night Football, so we won't have this week's results until Tuesday or late Monday night. But the Eagles at the Packers, 1.5-point favorites for the home team, the Green Bay Packers. This one, I think, is so fascinating. Our friend Max is going to this game. He's a diehard Eagles fan, so he'll be there to see the Eagles, obviously, as he wins the football game. I'll kick things off, and this one I will tell you I went back and forth like literally a million times. I'm going to take the home team, the Packers, mainly because I think Josh Jacobs gets it done on the ground. Taylor, who you got?
Yeah, I obviously hope that the Eagles defense just eats Jordan Love alive, which I think they can, because Jordan Love under pressure has one of the worst completion percentages in the NFL. So if they're able to create that consistent pressure against him and force him to throw, and I know part of that is stopping Josh Jacobs, so that is a part, but I'm going to go Philly.
All right, Tom, you're the deciding vote.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly as well. I'm wondering if I know they're good, the Packers, but I wonder how good they are. You know, look, Carolina's a good team, and anything can happen in on Sunday, right? Any given Sunday. But for the Panthers to go up there and beat Green Bay, I think that says something about Green Bay. It might say something about Carolina. We don't know. So I think Philadelphia goes in. I think they win this game. What's the spread? 1.5?
Yeah, 1.5 for the Packers.
I think they beat them by 3 or more.
My gut was Eagles, and then I went back and forth all day and went with the Packers. Maybe because it feels like in the NFL things are weird.
Yeah,
the Eagles came off of that big beat down over the Giants, then had a bye. Well, I thought that was going to work for the Lions last week and beating the Vikings, and that certainly did not. And then, the Packers losing the Panthers. Hopefully they bounce back for my sake. All right, let's get it to our wild card. We'll circle back to the Jaguars. I'm going to go to the college realm. Vanderbilt is a 6.5-point favorite over Auburn at home. Auburn obviously just fired Hugh Freeze, and Vanderbilt, I think, can win by at least one touchdown. So I'm going to take Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia, Clark Lee, and the bunch. Taylor?
Yeah, I'm going to BYU, Texas Tech. And Texas Tech's favored 10.5. I think BYU covers that. I think BYU is really good at the lines of scrimmage, and that's why I think we've seen a lot of the things that we have, and a large reason they're probably ranked number 7 right now. They protect the football really well. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Not the flashiest team, but I just think consistent. And in 8 wins, I read this, in 8 wins, they've covered 6 of the spreads, and those 2 outright wins as underdogs.
Okay.
So I think that BYU covers that 10.5.
All right, Tom?
Oh, BYU, they're 8th in that poll, I think. Undefeated.
Yeah.
All right, I went to the NFL, and probably a game you're probably like, what? Really? But yeah, as I looked at it, Cleveland at the Jets. Cleveland favored by 2.5. I just feel like the Jets.
What a terrible game.
I know, it's going to be awful. I'm not even going to
You're not going to watch
it. No, not at all. Not at all. But, I feel like, look, the Jets depleted their team.
Yeah.
And what happens here? You either get really worse, or you rise up and figure out a way to beat not a very good team in Cleveland. Obviously, Cleveland's defense is good. You got to be concerned there. But I'm going to say the Jets pull it off just for the mere fact. They pull it off by a field goal.
Just for the script.
Just because of what's been going on there, and maybe they'll get fired up for this game and see if they can get it done.
All right, and finally, the Jaguars at the Texans. The line shifted from the Texans being favored to the Jaguars. Jaguars -1 now that C.J. Stroud is out. Davis Mills is playing quarterback. I'll tell you the Jaguars win. I think it's one of those games where the pass rush finally, we are saying that's what we saw in training camp. That's what we expected all season. I don't know which guy ends up leading the team in sacks on Sunday, but I think they get several. So I'm going to take the Jags. Tom, I know you've got the Jags.
Yeah, I got the Jags. I don't want to say don't come home if you don't win, but I'll feel really bad if you don't.
I will
You don't
too.
win. This is a game you got to have.
We need a victory Monday.
Yeah.
This game, you just it's good for everything. It's good for morale. It's good for to keep it going forward. And it's good for inside that locker room, and it just shows that you're real. It's still. I know they're real, but how real? I don't know that answer, and I don't think anybody else does. They can say what they want, but they haven't shown you. They haven't even played their best football yet. play their best football, and then let's see where they're at. So I want to see how real they are. Beat the Texans, bury the Texans, sweep the Texans, and then let's become 6-3.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, sweep the leg and crush the face. Step X kick to the throat. Come on. So I got them winning.
Yeah, I'm going
assuming-
Jags too. I can't pick a Texans team led by Davis Mills. This might have honestly been a little bit different for me if CJ Stroud was playing. I think the Texans defense is difficult, and the way that I know they handled them pretty well when it comes to that up front the first time they played, but they didn't against Seattle and the Rams. So if they let that affect them the way, I don't think it's a crazy big win, honestly. I don't think they're winning by like 10 or something like that, but I do think the Jags pull it out with a field goal or a little bit more.
That would be excellent. We don't care how you win.
Yeah,
we
just
promise.
win.
That's right.
All right, so all three of us have FSU, as FSU is at Clemson. The Patriots, Tom took at the Buccaneers. Both Taylor and I have the Bucks. Eagles at the Packers. Taylor and Tom both have the Eagles. I took the home team in the Packers. All three of us have the Jags, and then the wild card, Tom has the Jets upsetting the Browns. Taylor has BYU covering 10.5 against Texas Tech, and I have Vanderbilt winning at home by more than 6.5 points. All right, so Taylor Doll, we had a tie the first month in September between Tom and Taylor, so we decided no loser there. You were barely a loser this most recent time.
But a loser.
But a loser.
Even the losers get lucky sometimes.
That is very true. So I came up with a few different options, and Tom, certainly you can weigh in as well. I'm not trying to, neither of us are trying to make this obviously embarrassing because we might lose next month. This is not like the drill wheel
We're
spin.
not trying to ruin lives here.
We are definitely not. No one's walking around in a diaper by any means. But
or pee-pee pants.
Yeah, not doing that either. You can, I feel like, write us a poem and then read that on air. But not write like a love poem, but just a poem in general. Yeah.
Okay.
I could write a poem about the season so
You could-
far.
Yes, you
I
could.
like writing
yep.
poems.
Yes, you
A
like
haiku.
writing songs. Yeah, a haiku would be even more complicated, but good luck with that. You could cook and bring us some food for lunch one day. You can say your name and then that you love the Green Bay Packers and you love the Milwaukee Brewers.
I don't know if that will come out.
I, Taylor Doll, love the Green Bay Packers and love the Milwaukee Brewers, and then RJ can use that as a drop all the time.
What if we gave the listeners a couple parameters and on the text line, maybe they can offer some ideas?
If people want to
you know
offer.
what I mean?
Sure, they're not going to give up or offer anything that Taylor's
Nice.
willing to do. But
We'll
we
see.
can absolutely
If you're listening, text us into the Lifetime, the
let's see
text
what
line brought to you by Lifetime
I
Enclosures,
like it.
641-1010. We will take some ideas, but I guess throughout the weekend we'll see what that goes, and then Monday we'll pick something.
Okay.
I like
What
that.
about like, would you drink a raw egg? Like Rocky?
Would I?
Yeah, it's Taylor, not me.
That doesn't hurt. Like,
All right, so that wouldn't bother you.
I wouldn't like it.
Well, right,
Definitely
but
I mean,
not.
it's
It
not
would be
good
like-
for you, right?
I mean,
What's that?
people do it, I think.
Oh, man, no, Rocky did it. You kidding me? It's great for you.
Rocky did it.
won. Rocky's
He also
the
got
champ.
punched in the face for a living.
It's all right. He needed the protein, man.
I wouldn't love that, but I think
Okay.
that's the
'Cause
point
we
of
didn't-
it.
We said no food, but yeah, something like that.
I don't
might
mind.
not be
I've
too
done.
bad.
I did that type of stuff on the drill. I had to eat weird stuff and
Would they let us shotgun a beer on camera,
that'd
or
be
is that
fun.
out of the question?
off air.
That's a Steve call. I did
Yeah.
see, speaking of raw eggs, Sydney Sweeney, the actress, gained 35 pounds of muscle for
Saw
a
that.
role that she's playing.
Yeah.
Pretty
What is
impressive.
she? Do you know what the role is?
It's something in boxing, is that right?
Oh, I think I saw. Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Forgot
it
who
was-
she is.
Christy Martin. She's playing Christy
Yes,
Martin.
yes.
Have you ever seen the documentary on her?
I have
Oh
not.
my gosh, it is absolutely wild. Remember, she was the woman fighter. Like she was a superstar
Yeah.
for a long time. She was crazy. She got into some crazy stuff though on the documentary. I forget what it was, but you should watch it.
Oh, I'll watch
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty wild.
It's
Christy
an upcoming biopic about legendary boxer Christy Martin. So
Yeah.
there you have it. All right, the cool down is next. Keep it right here on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels, provided by Green Law Group. Saddle up for a stampede deep in the heart of Texas. It's a Lone Star State showdown as the Jags' claws get hooked on horns in a fierce divisional fight. Jaguars, Texans.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Hey guys, Taylor Doll here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue and Chick-fil-A sauce? With 21 different sauce pairings possible, it's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on in.
Helmets and Heels.
Sipping on a Crown Royal Friday.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Joe C. here, and boy, oh boy, I've got a great deal for you traveling home team fans. If you plan on going to the Titans game up in the Ville, you can stay where I'll be staying in the heart of Nashville, at the Omni Nashville, super close to Broadway Street, as well as Nissan Stadium. They've got a killer rate for 1010 listeners. Just go to our website, 1010xl.com, and click the Omni link. Come hang with me, Joe C. in Nashville the weekend after Thanksgiving. It's the holidays, so let's celebrate with a big game in Nashville and stay at the Omni Nashville.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off soon with an epic in-state showdown. The defending national champion Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Hoop Showdown. Be there Sunday, November 16th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus Miami right here at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, November 16th. Ticketmaster.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coen, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
I mentioned a little bit earlier when we were talking about the sacks that Jacksonville needs to start figuring out a way to get, but the pressure. And so I saw something earlier talking about the pressure rate. And so just in general, they go through, it's 53 rushers on this list, and it ranks from the most pressure rate. It also breaks it down of where they're getting the pressures and all of that sort of thing. But I just thought it was interesting because, number one, 2 of the top 5 are Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. So just throwing that out there. Will Anderson as number 1 and Danielle Hunter's number 3. Michael Parsons is between them. Jalen Phillips is right, which good job on that one, is right behind Danielle Hunter at number 4. But number 5 is Josh Hines Allen. And so I do think that we've talked about those pressures. We want to start seeing those become something else, I think, is that conversation. Of these 53 rushers studied, the only other Jaguar that's on the list is Eric Armstead, and he's at 53 to 150th on the list. So he's there. there. He's on the list, but no other Jaguar. It makes the 53 when it comes to the top 53 creating any sort of pressure.
And again, pressures, they matter. There's value in them. There's no doubt. I just feel like, okay, let's track every pressure and what happens on that play.
Yeah.
Because just because you pressure the quarterback doesn't mean it's a good thing. You know what I mean? You flush him out of the pocket, he still makes a throw. Who cares? Like, you get him on the ground. If you hit him and he can't throw the ball, then it matters more. There's more value. But, listen, it's not for lack of effort. There's no doubt. He plays at a high level. His motor's 110%. There's no question. It's one thing about Josh. There's no loafing. No. You know what I mean? There's no, half-assing. He's trying. I'd like to see more moves out of him. It seems like he's been bull rushing a lot. I think he needs to put some kind of move on that. It's funny, Jacob and I were talking about that in New England or in Vegas, and he's like, when I'm on the field, I'm watching him. He's like, he bull rushes a ton. I was like, yeah, he does, but I'm going to check it out. And I was like, man, he does. He doesn't do these dip and rips and whatnot. And I think they got to get back to those games they were doing on the line. And I think Devin Lloyd allows him to do that. Yeah. Look, when you're the bat, remember I told you Joe Schmingy was the bat, where Devin Lloyd's kind of like the bat player, where he's the one that chips and the guy comes underneath the DN. Well, if you're shorter like Ventrell and not as long, it's hard to get that. You literally got to run into them with your whole body. Well, Devin Lloyd doesn't have to. He's so long that he can just chip with his hands. And, he's going to have to use, obviously, his weight behind it and then get his hands on the guy, then go up while the other guy comes around. You know what I mean? So he's better suited for those games. You got to have some length in your arms when you pass rush in those kind of games. Or they'll just grab you and suck you in, and there's no way out.
Yeah. I still can't figure out why Devin Lloyd, because he's literally like the perfect shape and size for an NFL linebacker, why he wasn't successful before this season. Like, is it just because of Coach Campanile, or is it because, I know last year he had gained weight because of Ryan Nielsen, but even prior to that, like, was he not deployed the way that he's been deployed this season? Like, why is it just now coming together?
I think they've simplified coverage for him. Yeah. That's it. And he's been good at everything else. It was never, with Devin, he could cover. Like, it wasn't like physically he couldn't run with the tight end or anything like that. It was more mental. When do I have him? Who do I? Now it just seems like, hey, you're going to play in the hole. You're going to play zone. You're going to play in the hole. And we're just going to let you use your read and reaction, your athletic ability, and make plays when the ball. And then he's really good at rushing. And they didn't utilize him as a rusher. It was, you know what he did at college? He rushed faster. Yeah. So it's just crazy. Again, it's sometimes you wonder and I don't mean today's like Jaguar coaches, but coaches in general, they take a guy and they change his position. And they think they're smarter than everybody, and they're just going to make it. Take Caleb Von Chasen. They made him a DN. He was never a DN. He was 245 pounds. He always played in space at LSU. He wasn't on the edge like with his hand in the ground. He was standing up. And now look at him, 2 years in a row, playing 3-4 outside backer. He's making plays. Yeah. We all made fun of him with that, that thing in the sand and T-Rex arms and all that stuff, and he turns out he was just out of position. Yeah. So
it's kind of like Yannick Ngakoue, how people, if you just asked him to rush the passer,
it was great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Don't expect him to
stop
be
the run or do any of the other
to
things.
stop the run. And look, Eric Armstead last year, we've talked about it ad nauseum, was asked to play edge instead of playing interior. And again, now he leads the team with 3.5 sacks. One other injury note I did want to mention, Devon Hamilton appeared on the injury report. He was limited in practice Wednesday and yesterday with a back injury. So certainly we'll watch that one as well. Okay. My guess is Ezra Cleveland does not play on Sunday since he has not participated.
And then no Milam.
And we don't know yet about Milam. He was limited yesterday with the knee injury. That's the one certainly we'll have to watch and see.
Well, Cole is the next one in. And he can handle that guard position
as far as
if
left
need
guard.
Be. Yeah.
I would imagine.
And he can play right. I mean, I don't know where you'd put Wyatt right now. Unless you're going to put him in.
Unless you replace. Well, see, I was going to say unless you replace Patrick McCary, because I feel confident in Cole Van Lannon at playing guard, and if McCary isn't playing as well as he should be, then I would, because of the penalties and things like that.
Yeah, no, he's.
Then I would. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to take a rookie.
I don't think they're ready for that yet.
Yeah, and we're going to take a veteran out, and we're going to put you in, and good luck against this Texans team. Yeah. Maybe against the Titans, perhaps this year. a little bit later?
Well, the interior's, I'd be more worried about tackle with him, if he had to go against their edges than interior. But still, no, you're right, putting a rookie out there. But look, Cole Van Lanen can hold the fourth down. Hopefully McCary can get better, man. He was doing all right when they were playing well together.
Right.
He's been, I don't want to call him the weak link. I know other people have. I don't think he's there yet, but he has given up some pressure that he shouldn't. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, one segment to go here on Helmets and Heels on a Football Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Bought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels.
Crown Royal Friday.
Duck Duck Rooter is a full-service plumbing company. They can handle any plumbing project, from clogged drains, water heater replacements, septic to city sewer conversions, backflow testing, lift stations, large-scale repipe jobs. They really do it all. Duck Duck Rooter has highly skilled technicians that will solve your problem right the first time. Check out their reviews on Google and give them a call, servicing both commercial and residential customers.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teens ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Remember, you can always listen to the Jacksonville Jaguars game here on the Superstation on Sunday. Of course, kickoff at 1 o'clock, but our coverage begins several hours in advance. So tune in to 1010XL. All right, time now for today's Terminix. Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. Today's Pest of the Day is Antonio Brown. I don't think that's going to come as a surprise to anyone. He was, I'm assuming, trying to hide out in Dubai when he was extradited back to the United States. And if you didn't know, back in May, he was accused of shooting someone.
Yeah.
And that was an attempted murder charge. And so the attempted murder charge comes with a maximum 15-year sentence and up to a $10,000 fine in the event of a conviction. Terminix, absolutely the best in the business. They are not like Antonio Brown. You can trust them. They take care of all the pest control issues at our house, as well as Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, and ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, which, by the way, tonight, the Icemen.
Yes, home
versus
opener.
The Atlanta Gladiators, home opener, 7 p.m., like I said.
Even though
at
they've
the
played
arena.
several games, it took a while to get home, but they're here.
But that's just the way the ECL schedule works. But yeah, Antonio Brown, like, come on, man. Did you think that you were going to be able to just
hang out in Dubai forever?
Right.
It's why that has to be one of the crazier like trajectories of a just career and path of somebody ever.
Agreed.
Like, and the way it like him walking off with no shirt in the middle of a game, like that's it's just insane.
Remember when he was acting like a bird in his backyard when who released him? He's like, I'm free as a bird. And he's in the video with his shirt off.
I don't remember that one, but
he's a knucklehead of the day or something.
And-
$10,000 for a fine for shooting at somebody. That's it?
But a maximum 15-year prison sentence.
Yeah, but only $10,000
But
fine. You think it'd be a
I don't
bigger
think it's
fine.
like dynamic pricing, like how tickets, go up the closer you get to
Hold
the
on,
event.
he was still on a team when it happened?
No,
Who's
this was
fining
just this
him?
past May.
Yeah.
So the court fines you. Like, I don't think it's like, okay, well, you have a lot more money, so we can increase. It should be like that, though.
Yeah.
I just think if you shoot somebody, it should be more
It's
than
like a
10
life.
G.
You're like, if you're that person, you're like, my life's only worth $10,000.
Well, the person survived. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I even go back because I remember we had this was a few years ago. We had somebody on and we were talking to them about the Pittsburgh Steelers and in general and Antonio Brown. Something else was going
Maybe
on at
Brooke
that time.
Pryor?
Possibly, I can't remember. But they went into some details of even like all the craziness that had started after he left Pittsburgh. And they said he used to, it was always happening, but because Pittsburgh was winning and he was playing so well, it wasn't talked about. Like he would show up to practice with a helicopter, like in the middle, just land his helicopter on the field mid-practice and be like, I'm here. Like,
here I am.
Whatever. I have an interesting thing to read, by the way.
Yeah.
So, lowest completion percentage in a win this year. It was Bo Nix versus Houston, 48.6%. They won that game. Trevor Lawrence versus Houston, 50%. Baker Mayfield versus Atlanta, 53.1%. Cam Ward versus Arizona, 53.8%. Bo Nix versus the Giants, 54%. Sam Darnold versus Houston, 54.8%. So 3 of the 6 have been against Houston, saying pretty much like your defense is good, but their offense can't score right now.
So let's make sure that ratio is more like last week, more run than pass.
Yeah.
Not more pass than run. You got to run the football.
And Jalen Petrie is still in the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
They're standout safety, so that may change their secondary. We know how Eric Murray not being here, and certainly the nickel corner, Jordan Lewis, if he's not able to play. Taylor, you also told us off air that the Raiders fired special teams coordinator Tom McMahon. I feel like they should have fired Daniel Carlson
Probably
after missing the PAT against the Jags, and then last night missing the game tying field goal against the Broncos.
I know the Vegas Raiders aren't running through their kicker, Josh. I tell you that much.
Now I do
that
know
team is not running through the kicker.
the winds. He's referring to Josh Scobie, in case you're wondering. The winds were swirling last night in Denver. I got, or I saw that it was like up to 34 miles per hour. So. At Mile High, I've never been there. I'll be there next month, but I can only imagine what that's like for a kicker.
Yeah, well, and if, just if you're not used to the altitude.
Altitude, yeah.
We used to have to run towards the breathing, machines to get a little oxygen. After a series, because it's just, it's thin air. But and then with kicking the ball, if you're not used to it, it's got to come off the foot a little different, I would imagine. But so what? Life of the kicker. Too bad. Make your kicks, and we love you.
There you have it. Let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, I used to wake up on Saturday mornings so excited to watch college football. I feel like a little bit of the joy, not just because of Florida, but all the teams kind of around here outside of maybe Georgia have fallen short.
It's been a bad season. I mean, I think, not just because of Florida's failures, but just in general. Like, there's no great Heisman race.
Mm-hmm.
The teams at the top haven't really been tested, against anybody.
Right.
So it's like you don't really know. And we're in November now.
Yeah.
Like, we should know. We should be excited about a matchup of the Goliaths down the road. And I
Or
think
can Iowa do anything for you?
yeah, I mean, no, it doesn't. I mean, I'd have to be like the guy in A Clockwork Orange watching that game in the straitjacket with my eyes clamped open. So yeah, I mean, I'll watch Florida out of obligation almost now.
I heard you say that yesterday, like out of habit, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll take joy if they win, and if they lose, I'll be like, well, I'm used to that, and life will move on.
Chalk it up.
So it's been a bad college. I do feel like the NFL season has been terrific so
Agreed,
far.
yeah.
So that has definitely made up for it, and the Jaguars certainly helping that. But yeah, I think it's just been. In general, it's been a dismal year for our state, but also just in general, I think for the sport. Hasn't been particularly good so far. Maybe it'll pick up, but we'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. Pete Prisco will join us at 5:15 to talk Jags and NFL. And I had a chance to catch up about an hour ago with Jacoby Myers in the locker room and Foye Luakan. Yeah, so we'll play those interviews as well.
Beautiful. I can't wait to hear from the new receiver.
Yeah, he was a great dude.
Real quick, Hayes, who do you think is the most disappointed? Do you think a Clemson, an LSU, a Penn State with preseason?
That's like the holy trinity of awful right there. I don't know. I mean, I guess Penn State of the three.
Yeah.
Because they sort of went all in. They saw Michigan and Ohio State win it, and they were like, this is our year. We're throwing a bunch of money at it.
Mm-hmm.
But LSU did the same thing. Clemson, obviously supremely disappointed with how their season's gone. It's hard to believe Clemson and Florida State 3-8 combined in the ACC.
Yeah.
So just lots of disappointment to go around. And we certainly have our share in Gainesville, and I know Tallahassee has their share, and now even Coral Gables.
Yeah, they're going through it too.
And now even and now even the Canes.
Right.
I mean, the Canes are devastated.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have a better year than Florida and Florida State, but I mean they're not going to win the ACC again. And they're probably going to miss the playoff after looking like they might have one of the best teams. So, anyway, we'll try and get through it.
It's a cruel game. Very cruel.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hayes. All right, that'll do it for us. Everybody enjoy their weekend. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.